So let's talk about how you actually stitch your hexies together after you've made them. So I have a bunch. These are all hexies I've made when we've been camping or I've been traveling, and I use my scraps, and it's a great use of scraps. So I have picked out some colors that I really like that are going to work well together, I think. You're going to need 6 for the outside and 1 for the center. And it's up to you if you make it completely scrappy. Some people will pick these 3 to be a different color and those 3 and then this one a different color. It's completely up to you. But what you're going to do is you're going to take your center hexie and you're going to start with that one. And you're going to put these right sides together like this. And I have a few supplies. I have just a little travel box that I use with my supplies. So you're going to need a needle. Some people use different sizes. This one is, I think this one is a size 5, but it's completely up to you on your preference. I do prefer Superior bottom line thread that is 60 weight. It's polyester. It's really sturdy, and I like this because the color is a silver color. It's 623, and it blends with whatever color fabric I have. It's also, with it being polyester, is pretty sturdy and doesn't break as easily. So that is just my preference on the thread. Some people will use other types of threads, so you just use whatever works for you. So you're going to put these right side together. I've thread my needle and I've got 2 knots down at the end there. And the way you start out is you're going to come up underneath one spot. You'll find one spot there you can come up underneath where you've glued in the corner right there. And you'll bring your needle up. And you do have an option. You don't have to use these, but you can use some type of little magnet. These are sew tights, and I use them sometimes, and sometimes they really, really want to stick together, but they're handy to keep your hexies together. So I will go ahead and just show you how that works. That way you're not having to like hold them and they don't wiggle and move around, but you do not have to use one of those. So go ahead and pull that up through until it catches. And then what I like to do, and some people do it different ways, so you know, you do what works for you. I actually go ahead and put it through to the other side. Give it a little tug. And then I'm going to go through one more time, and this is where I'm going to knot it. So when I pull it, it's going to form that little loop there. I go ahead and bring my needle through and pull it tight. You see that there? I'll zoom in. So this is knotted really well. And that's important because you want to make sure that that doesn't come out. Then I go ahead and do one more stitch, and then what we're going to do is a whip stitch. And you're only going to need to come down basically about 2 thread lengths. And if you're using paper, you'll feel it if you hit the paper. For me, I use leave-in stabilizer that I make with my AccuQuilt, so I don't have to take these out. And it's the consistency of like dryer sheets. And so then you'll just, again, come down about 2. And you just whip stitch this all the way across. Like that. And so you just whip stitch that. You can see those stitches there. And you know, if you come down just a little too far, it's okay. You'll feel it if you have the paper. If you have the stabilizer, it won't matter so much. But again, about 2 thread lengths down and pull and whip stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this row, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about what to do next. So now that you've whip stitched and you've gotten all the way to the end here, you're going to want to go ahead and knot off the end as well, because this is really important for this to be secure. So I will go ahead and pull that through, and I'll make 2 knots. Oops, get that through there, and make another knot, and then pull that. All right, and so then, oh, came unthreaded. When you open it up, it's going to look like that. And you see, you can just barely see those stitches with this color and the weight of thread being 60. So that's kind of why I like that. So now what you're going to do, I'm going to have to rethread that, but you're going to take your next hexie and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to lay it in that next little open area there, and then either hold it, or if you have your Sew Tight magnet, you can use that, and that really keeps it secure and keeps it from moving. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're actually going to start here, double knot it, and then you're going to whip stitch all the way to the edge, and then double knot it there as well, and then you'll actually cut your string. So you've got enough to actually be able to go twice without having to cut this string at this juncture. You'll be able to go to the edge here, and that's actually where you'll have to cut the string. Okay, at this point, we've got all 6 of our little hexie petals sewn to the center. Now, at this point, if you were using the paper, EPP papers inside here, you could pull out the center one and the center one only. These still need to stay in there. Because I'm actually using the leave-in stabilizer that I make, it doesn't matter because it's really bendy. And it's not a problem for me to bend it. But because we're going to need to be bending it like this, it's easier when you take the paper out of the center one to be able to bend it. So you're just going to pick one area here where you need to connect to, and you will bend it over. And you see this is so pretty flexible here, so I don't have to do that. And you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to come up through, and you're going to pull it up here, and then I go ahead and make a double knot. And some people do this a little differently. You know, you can just do it however you want, but the important part is that you really double knot that there to really secure those points. Because when you think about if this is sewn onto a fabric to make a quilt, you really want that to be secure there. And then you are going to whip stitch just like you did before, all the way to the edge. Now, when you get to the edge the edge here, you absolutely for sure have to double knot and cut your thread. On these others, if you had enough thread, you could keep going all the way around till you ran out. You didn't have to necessarily cut it, but there's nowhere else to go. After you get to the end right here on this one, you're going to want to go ahead and cut your threads. Some people will actually, when they get to this point, they'll like pull it all the way over to start in the next spot, but I don't like to have those long threads on the back. So my preference is to go ahead and double knot it here at the end and cut it off. And then you'll open it up, and after it's sewn together, you'll go to this next open area. Fold it over, double knot it here, whip stitch all the way to the end, and double stitch there. Okay, quilty friends, now we have our little hexie. It's all sewn together. Isn't that cute? Now, if you used paper templates inside yours, you're going to want to remove yours from outside of here. Since I make my own out of firm stabilizer, they're meant to be left inside, and you can see it's still bendy, which is really nice. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, as well as my other tutorials that go along with this one on how to make English paper piecing hexies. It's really fun to do on the go when you're traveling or on vacation, and I know it's very relaxing to me as well. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe, and if you liked this video and the other ones, please give me a like. And you also can follow me on Instagram at SeamsSewMe. So until next time, quilty friends, make lovely things.